the new Polaris RZR Pro R Factory. It's a race car. It's purpose-built in-house at Polaris. They're going to take on the 2023 SCORE season and Best in the Desert Vegas to Reno. This is Robert Wilmot. He's the lead engineer of this project. Is
so I'm
right?
the technical director of the Polaris off-road racing team.
Okay, great. So just to have a couple questions. It really looks stock. I mean, obviously the cage is different, but it does have a full chassis. Talk about the chassis.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, the vehicle is based off, and we tried to really keep a lot of the stock Pro R DNA. The Pro R is an amazing vehicle. We've got a lot of effort in that, but it is a custom chassis where we took all the stock mounting points, so suspension, engine, driveline locations, and then working with our knowledge and our data to make a stronger, more durable chassis, but also a lighter chassis.
Okay, and for suspension arms, they're basically stock. It looks like you have some limit strap spots welded on there, but that's a stock upper and lower arm?
So right now we've got a stock upper and lower on the vehicle. We do have modified ball joints on the vehicle that are parts we've been working on to improve them for the racing durability. And if you look at the rear, we've got a stock trailing arm, but we've got new radius rods and toe wings that we've been developing.
Yeah, we saw those. And then what's done with the steering? Do you have a brace or something on there, or what's done with the steering in the front diff area?
So within the chassis of this vehicle, what we worked on was serviceability. So obviously we never want something to happen, but if it does happen, we've designed it to where you can change the diff or steering faster than you could on a normal Pro R. So we've modified how that mounts with a new bracket and brace so that it is stiffer and easier to service on the vehicle.
Okay, yeah. So speaking of serviceability, you did the same thing on the belt, right? You made the belt
so
you can change
one of the layouts of the vehicle, we can go around on either side, is we've actually got access panels inside the vehicle. So if you've got your two-car team, driver, co-driver, somebody can come through the middle. And then we've actually split this panel. On most of the other race cars you see, they've got kind of one panel. We've designed it so you can service here, and you've got side access to be able to come in. So two people can change a belt quite quickly on this vehicle. Obviously it's something we don't want to do on the race course, but if you have to do it, you want to make it as quick and painless as possible.
So you tell us stock engine, you have modified the transmission a little bit with better bearings, stock axles.
Stock axles, so within the driveline, it's a stock engine. We've got a race tune on it with some mods to it. But then within the driveline, we've got on the transmission, we've got a race transmission we've developed. So it's improved gear set, it's improved bearings, it's a lighter setup with less inertia in it. And then we've got a carbon prop shaft in the front of the vehicle, but the drives and the axles are completely stock.
Okay, and then you have stock-ish shocks with oil reservoirs, oil coolers, and you said some high temp seals. Is that correct?
So this is a package we've worked on with Fox. They're 3.0 shocks. It's the live valve 2, and we've worked to develop it for special tuning for the vehicle, the weight, the balance of the vehicle. We do have the cactus coolers on the rear, especially in an event like San Felipe where you just have a lot of wheel travel and movement. It helps keep the fluid cool and keeps the shock performing at its optimal. But that's something, having them on board as a partner is allowing us to use their facilities, their tuning help, their dyno work to take it to the next level.
What about the alternator? Has that been modified at all, or is it
The
stock?
alternator is completely stock. We do have 2 batteries underneath the dash, mounted on top of the transmission or the drive prop shaft tunnel. They're lithium batteries, so we've got 2 lightweight batteries, but alternator is completely stock. And then we have done a lot with the wiring to where we have a full data logger and electronic controls within the wiring.
Yeah, I saw the ride command system still in there, so you could get diagnostic codes and things like that even during the race.
Yeah, so this particular vehicle, they still have a stock ECU that we can flash in and work with, but then we do have ride command, so we can see what's going on with the vehicle through there, also through the suspension codes. And then we've got that data logger on top of that, which is controlling some of the switches and power management of the vehicle.
Okay, and then you have a big fuel cell. How big is a fuel cell in there?
So right now it's a 35-gallon fuel cell in the vehicle.
Okay, what kind of mileage are you getting in race conditions or test conditions so far?
So we see a variance anything from the extreme conditions to where you're 5-6 miles per gallon up to 8 or 9. We've obviously factored that in, and that's part of our strategy as we lay out what size cell, where fuel stops, what we need to do to make the vehicle work.
I noticed you have BF Goodrich tires. Are you going to allow them to do the pit support on this car, or is your team going to do it?
So working with SCI, the factory team will be pitting the vehicles. So obviously having BFG out there, their pit support's amazing during the races. And we do have agreements to where if something happened and a guy needed to pull in and get a tire, we can work with them. But with our multi-car team, we've got everything set up to where we'll have multiple pits and support out there to directly help the cars.
Okay, and those tires are on Method bead grip wheels. They're not bead locks. They're internal bead lock or some sort of technology.
Correct. So right now, and we've worked with Method, we've been testing both their tires, but they do have the conventional bead lock, which will run at some events, but they also have the bead grip, and we've been working with them. So far it's phenomenal in terms of it's a lighter design, but still giving that robustness and durability needed to keep the tire beaded on.
Great, and save a little bit of weight. You made a statement about weight. What did you say? This car weighs less than any other Pro R race car out there?
So right now, compared to not just even the Polarises, but as we look at our competitors and other vehicles out there, we have made huge leaps and bounds of reducing weight in this vehicle, and really happy how the weight turned out, as well as not just the total weight, but the placement, the inertia, the CG, the total characteristics of the vehicle. And that was all baked in the initial architecture, the packaging, design iterations to be able to get the vehicle where we wanted.
So what will be the weight at the starting line?
So we're still working on the numbers, but really happy again where they are, and it's something we're continuing to develop. So I have various numbers right now. I don't want to tell you a wrong range, but really happy with how the weight is right now of the vehicle.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.
Good luck in San Felipe next month.
Thank you.
Colin. Here's Reed Wilson, Vice President of Recreation at Polaris. Reed, tell us why you built this thing. I mean, the Pro R was so cool as it was, but then you guys go ahead and top yourself. What's the reason behind this, in a corporate standpoint, and what is the customer going to get out of this?
Yeah, this really came from an idea led by our engineering team to use racing as a test bed for future product development, whether it be new whole good products or accessories and parts. And we built a business case to say, hey, we can do this, and this technology and the things we learn through racing will cascade down to our customer vehicles. And once we built that structure, we were off to the races, so to speak, and just focused on building this vehicle over the last year. So that was the concept.
Now, I've been told that customers will actually be able to buy some of the parts that are raced on this vehicle. Is that true?
Yeah, over time we're going to develop competition-only parts that will be used, that will be developed from this race team. It's going to take some time because we want to make sure that the development is done. But that's the goal, is a whole lineup of accessories that the average customer can buy and use on their vehicle. But some of them will be competition only, and some of them will be used everywhere.
Now, in desert racing, they say that you're really competing against the desert. Is that what you guys are doing, or are you actually trying to blow the competition away?
Yeah, I mean, we want to win. That's what we're in this for, is to go win and to prove our capabilities, the capabilities of the Pro R. But you also have to realize the other guys are working hard too, and they've been doing this a long time, whether it be other racers running Polarises or other OEMs. So our ambition over time is to win consistently. That's going to take time, though. We believe we have to develop it, and we have to learn lessons, and but we're confident over time we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, well, great. It's going to be an interesting season. Good luck.
Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah. Appreciate it.
All right, we have Travis Clark. He, along with Craig Scanlon, are you call them team principals.
Team
right?
principals.
Got a little bit of F1 drive to
going
survive
impulse
there. So, this looks like the biggest OEM-supported off-road team since Precision Caldwell's Toyota team. So, do you think it might be bigger? Because Toyota didn't build his truck. Polaris is building these race cars. Toyota built the motors, and then the Caldwells built the rest.
Yeah, I mean, I that's a great analogy. We have a ton of respect for Cal and PPI and what they did. They definitely elevated the sport. So we're trying to replicate and bring some of that back to the sport. I don't know if it's bigger or not. We have some great partnerships. I know They seem to always have a couple big partners. We have a whole list of great partners supporting us, and
Yeah. Before you talk about them, so did Polaris come to you guys, or did you come to Polaris?
So my day job, I'm a sports agent, and I run a sports agency, and we do a ton of partnerships and marketing for different brands and athletes. And so Reed and the folks at Polaris reached out and asked if I would help with securing sponsorships for the program.
Okay. All right. Great. And it looks like you brought some big ones. Progressive,
Yeah,
Rockford
yeah.
Fosgate, BFG.
Yeah, we it's great, the relationship with Polaris, because as an OE, they open a lot of doors and they open a lot of opportunities to not just provide value to sponsors in the traditional sense from the racing program, but going back to that Formula One or that NASCAR model, there's a lot of business-to-business opportunities. And that's really the sweet spot of sponsorships. If you can actually generate business in addition to return from a marketing standpoint, those are the foundations of long-lasting partnerships.
Yeah, great. You expect any of these sponsors to change or add sponsors as the year goes along, or are you set?
If we're doing our job, it definitely won't. We won't hopefully lose any, and maybe add some more. But no one's changing. This year we've got multi-year agreements with quite a few of them, and we look to be building something special with them.
Yeah, that was my final question. How long is this program slated to go already, or is it an indefinite program?
Definite program. This is not like a flash in the pan 2-year deal and we're done. If we can, like I said, make this successful from a business standpoint, if we can build these cars and then actually sell them and get consumers buying them and continue to bring in partnerships, sponsorships, then this program has a long runway before it.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be
Appreciate
watching
it.
for sure.
Thank you.
All right, so we had a really cool ride with Caden McCachran in the new Polaris Pro R factory out in Johnson Valley. We did like a 10-mile loop. It was a blast.
Hey, you got that impact?
The car's fast. The car's strong. Caden's a great driver. I'm sure these other guys are too. First race is, I believe, April 1st in San Felipe, somewhere 1st of April. Definitely tune in, follow Score. Follow UTV Action magazine and Dirt Wheels. We'll have some updates. Definitely appreciate you watching.